Hi, Rabbi. Countries all over the world are still spending a lot of money on war, but now they're spending a lot of money on propaganda saying that the war is justified, and not just in their own countries, but in our country. How important is public opinion in these situations?
You know, we as citizens are put in the crosshairs. How do I know what's going on, what to believe? Israel's spending $50 million in the United States to convince us that they're doing the right thing, but they're not changing their policy. They're not doing anything different. And Iran is spending millions of dollars in the United States on propaganda. And as you mentioned, Russia is as well, and our own administration. And since we're in the crosshairs, it makes it very difficult to look at policy to understand what's going on because we're not really told what's happening. We are being told what they want us to think is happening. And the goal is to go along with each country, each politician's decision of what they think is right without ever giving us the pros and cons of anything.
Yeah, but sensibilities in this country have changed over the decades. Back when I was but a lad, it was customary to spend 2 to 3 hours a night watching the news to try and understand what was going on in various situations. Now we want a soundbite that encapsulates everything we don't have to think about. We just want to have a slogan that we can parrot and shout out to our friends.
I think we are so overwhelmed in the 21st century with data, with charges, with counter charges, with the media, with propaganda. That's why we like baseball, football, and soccer. Just a way to defocus from being bombarded from all these sources that somehow we know it's not true, but we want to believe it because we have to get up in the morning, we have to go to work, we have to pay for gasoline that's off the charts, the food prices are off the charts, and we want to believe it's someone's fault or someone can correct it. And this just leads us down the primrose path or the yellow brick road, if you like, the road to perdition. And we have to sit back and go, wait a minute, just because a group of people on Reddit tore Panera Bread apart doesn't mean it's bad. And the very fact that critics now go to Reddit and I read their articles of condemning places because people posted stuff on Reddit, that's the most absurd thing I've ever seen. Because these are just individuals and they're posting stuff. It's not documented. There's no research or studies done. And it's the same with what's going on with Israel, with our own government, all around us. We are being overloaded now with AI being so terrific. Even the experts, I read an article this week, even the experts say they can't tell the difference and between photographs and writing and who wrote this. And AI gets better. So we have to sit back and say, wait a minute, not everything I read is true or correct. But that's very difficult, Joe, because it means I have to accept what is. The whole media is based on knowing we don't want to accept what Israel's doing. We don't want to accept what the president is doing. We don't want to accept what Putin is doing. So since they already know that, they're going to feed into it. But they then don't have to change what they're really doing because we're just getting manipulated. But we're allowing it, Joe. We're letting it happen to us.
So many times we'll hear people say, just repeat the slogans that are being thrown out in the media, even when they're completely inaccurate. Is advertising got that much power over us?
I think we have given advertising that power. I'm going to go back and say what I said. We don't want to accept what is. Therefore, we're willing to buy into or listen to the most ridiculous things. Think about it. There was a charge that Jews have a laser on the dark side of the moon, and people actually believed that, and that it was shooting down, I have no idea what, and that Jews control the banks. If you look at these unbelievable, because all you have to do is you can go online. We have the internet to disprove all of this. You just bypass some of the sources and you can discover what's happening. But life is really complicated, overbearing, and I don't want it like that. So I will buy a product that will give me hair, make me look younger, increase my sex life, and I'll lose weight, even though in the process it destroys my body. Because I'm not going to look at the insert. I'm not going to look at what the chemicals do to my body. I'm going to adhere to what I believe, not what the product actually does or doesn't do.
Well, I'm going to adhere to your advice, Rabbi. Thanks as always. I hope we figure out that sometimes the truth is more important than the labeling.
And I just advise our listeners and those watching, slow down before you accept what someone says or what the media, knowing that they are manipulating us because we let them. We know that. So let's stop for a moment and say, if the price of the theater, if price of a concert's too high, I'm not going to pay it. I don't need a government bill to do something about the cost of tickets in the theater. I won't go. And if a restaurant is more money, I just won't go. Stop writing about it. Stop complaining. Vote with your feet. Don't go.